Hi, hello! Good evening po sa inyong lahat. Welcome po sa Textfire Philippines Facebook page at live na live po tayo ngayon dito sa Binondo, Manila. No? So tonight po, ang dami-dami niyo pong matututunan ngayong gabi at nagpapasalamat po kami in behalf of all the officers and members ng Textfire Philippines na nagkaroon po kayo ng oras para makisama sa amin ngayong gabi at mas marami po kayong matututunan. No? So hindi ko na po patatagalin, ipapakilala ko na po ang ating mentor ngayong gabi, ang ating facilitator. Walang iba kung hindi ang ating resident fire expert, Mr. Jones Lim.
Good evening, Eric. Hi, everybody.
Okay.
Itutuloy natin for lesson for today. Actually, ang topic natin hindi bago. It's practically the foundation of fire safety advocates.
Yes.
Okay.
At sabi nga ni Uncle Jones, no, Sir Jones, kahit na sabihin mo pang luma na itong topic na to, sigurado pong marami kayong matutunan ngayon dahil hindi lang po ito basta-basta na normal na narinig natin, kung ano pa yung mga hindi natin alam talaga na we're going to get a little bit deeper dito sa ating topic na ito. So hindi ko na patatagalin. Uncle Jones, Sir Jones,
Yeah.
Chief, start.
Okay. You think for mga all-timers, we'll just start immediately. Papasok tayo agad-agad. Kung ano ang tinatawag natin, fire, yung sunog. Okay? So, ang fire, basically, alam natin, is a chemical chain reaction among three elements. That's why meron tayong yung fire triangle. Okay? At tutuloy na ako. Yung fire triangle na yun, meron tayong tatlong sides, side, alam natin naman lahat, kung lalo na luma na kayo sa mga lesson on this one, meron tayong O2, fuel, tsaka heat, That's a three side. Okay. Let me go deeper on that, Ang oxygen kasi, dapat meron tayong concentration ng 21%. Kasi ang normal air natin, ambient air natin, is composed of around 70% nitrogen, 21% O2. And the rest is stress gases. Ang heat, it's there. Fuel could be anything that would combust. Plus, additional, pumasok na yung chain reaction, makakaroon ng apoy. Ang sabi natin, o alam natin lahat, bilang isang firefighter, o pwede namin baguhin na konti, ang modern term ng tawag namin, it's not firefighting anymore. It's what we call fire control management. Kasi hindi tayo linalabanan yung apoy. Gusto natin, i-control niya, i-manage. Okay. We'll go very, very simplified. If you just remove one side of the fire triangle equation, mapapatay yung apoy, makokontrol siya. Okay. Ang O2 kasi, meron kakataon na pwede natin ipatay. Small flame, just cover it up, so forth and so. But it is that we have to bring down the oxygen percentage in volume to less than 15%. Kasi kung less than 15% yan, hindi kaya makasuporta ng combustion. Okay, heat likewise, ibababa natin sa flash point o kindling point ng material. Okay, then we go deeper on that. Then we'll be going to what we call the fire tetrahedron. Pumapasok na yung another element which we call chemical chain reaction. Okay, same thing, pwede natin tanggalin isang side, makokontrol natin ng flame. Okay, anong big difference there? Ang chemical chain reaction kasi, hindi masyadong visible sa tao. We're talking about molecules and atoms. So, I will just put it there. Unti-unti, para malaman ito. We go side by side right now, We have the fire triangle and the fire tetrahedron. Okay, what's the difference? Actually, meron na isang additional element. Kaya meron tayong additional let's say another side of the fire tetrahedron to control. This is a chemical chain reaction. And then on what to that, I will just leave it there. On what to that, knowing about fire, we have to know about the different classes of fire. And most of us are familiar in the Philippines on the NFPA standard. Okay, so meron tayong sinasabi na classes of fire based on NFPA standard. Pakita mo, meron tayong class A, class B, class C, class D, and class K. Okay? Ang class A is usually what we call the solid fuel, Actually, technically, what we say is that it's going to be carbonaceous fuel in the sense that anything that burn na may natitirang abo, that's a class A fire. Ang class B fire is usually described as flammable liquids. But I'll touch later on that kasi mayroong ibang subclasses na sinasabi natin ng class B. And then, meron tayong class C. NFP is what we call the energized electrical fire. Class D is what we call combustible metal. Class K is what they call kitchen fire. Okay, ano ba diferensya ngayon? We call ISO o International Standard. And since ang Pilipinas is a signatory of the ISO, so siguro dapat alam natin kung anong classes of fire din sa ISO. Kasi merong a little bit differences, technically, they're both very accurate. Ang ISO kasi, A is also ordinary combustible. B is what they call flammable liquids. C is what they call gas fire. No more electrical on that, D is metal. Ang E, sometimes they don't use the term E. They just use a lightning symbol to indicate the electrical fire. And class F is for fat fires. Hindi sila nagdidesign as kitchen. Kasi fat fire is yung mga heavy oils. May especially iba-ibang characteristics. Then we go side by side now, So I can tell you the difference, So we have the NFPA and the ISO, Or sometimes we call them Europeans. Pero I don't know bakit, Okay, the class A is practically the same. Anything that burn with a ash residue is classified as class A fire. B is what we call flammable liquids. But in flammable liquids, meron tayong dalawang subclass, Meron sinasabi natin, liquid hydrocarbon, is a liquid carbon fire and the polar solvent. Anong diferensya? Okay, in both NFPA and ISO. Okay, anong diferensya? Dito, in front of me, meron tayo dalawang beaker. I would just try to pull in tubig. Anyone will do. Yeah, okay lang yun. Sige. Okay. I'll just pour in a good amount, Let's say, same amount. That's around 400 ml. If you're with me, diesel fuel, which is we call hydrocarbon, or oil base. Oil base, yeah. It's just 400 cc, 100 ml. On this one, I'll shook it up. Oh, let me get a steering chopstick. Ano yung product ko? Anybody can tell me kung ano yung product ko? And on the other one, I have denatured alcohol, same 100 cc. I pour it in. And this is what we call polar solvent. By the way, ang hydrocarbon technically is what we call non-miscible in water. Hindi siya sumasama sa tubig. So like this one, even though how hard we mix it up, ano resulta natin? We still have the separation, Hiwala yung diesel sa tubig. So in essence, susunog siya, Like this one, may denatured alcohol siya. I mix it up. Ano mangyayari? You couldn't tell the difference, right? What do you call this one? ang end product ng mixtures ng tubig saka diesel. Ano tawag natin dito? The same, ano? Tubig saka diesel kasi naghiwalay sila Ang diesel nasa ibabaw, okay? So pwede natin i-salvage, maging diesel pa din siya. Dito, wala ka napapansin na meron siyang separation. Bakit ba? It's miscible in water. Humahalo na sa tubig siya. Okay? So what do you call this one? It's what we call alcohol solutions. Susunog ba ito? Mas mabilis ito dahil nandiyan pa na yung characteristic ng carbon fuel. This one, alcohol, depende sa alcohol. Kasi ginagawa natin yung solution. So depende sa percentage. Mas mataas ang percentage, mas possibility na mag-clean up siya. We will do a burn here at the moment. Okay? Just to let you know, yung class B lang, mayroon siyang subclass na, no? Mayroon siyang subclass. So, ito nakita mo, nabubuo na yung diesel. Purong diesel sa ibabaw, tubig pa din sa lalim. So, hindi nagbabago. So, meron tayong tubig saka diesel. Okay? May tubig saka diesel. Ang alcohol, ang tawag natin, kasi mixed na siya, ang tawag natin is alcohol solution. Okay? And then, depende sa anong klaseng alcohol, ano? Kasi iba-ibang alcohol, may iba-ibang flash point o ignition point. I will just leave it there. Kasi if we talk about these things, medyo madugo pa din, no? Dami pa mangyayari. Okay? Leave it there. Okay? Let's go back to the yung diagram ng NFPO at ISO, no? Okay, I leave these things on the side. Just remember that thing, no? Para malaman ninyo, no? Bakit mas madalas sa mga lesson natin, dati-dati, and then nag-emphasize na mayroong ibang klase pala yung class B. Okay? Sa NFPA, wala siyang subclass for gaseous fire. Di ba? Nakadam sa class B. So, LPG, LNG, CNG, whatever, ano? So, mahirap kasi may kanya-kanyang characteristic for controlling. What you can control with a hydrocarbon fire, not necessarily the same thing could be used to control a polar solvent, alcohol fire. That's why if you're in-depth into fire control, meron tayong different firefighting foam. Okay? Meron tayo sabi natin, ordinary foam. Meron tayo sa alcohol-resistant foam. May class A foam. We will go deep into that when we talk about fire management. I'll just leave it there. And then ang class C sa NFPA is they call that energized electrical fire. Okay? Sa ISO, class C is a gaseous form of fire. So pumapasok ng LPG, LNG, pwede pressurized liquid o pressurized gas fire. Okay? So, meron silang difference na, no? NFPA and ISO. Okay? And then, sa class D, same. Incombustible metal. Combustible metal is, may certain metal na talagang nasusunog. Katulad ng magnesium. Ang isang difficult high temperature fire is the metal fire. When it burns, it will produce one of the hottest flame. And in conjunction with that, in my old training, when I asked around, what do you think is the color of the highest temperature flame? And daming nagsasabi, blue. Halos na madami sa past training ko, no? A lot of participants will say, it's blue, sir. Bakit ba? Kasi nabenta sila sa mga blue flame, LPG. Sa LPG, ano? So, LPG, blue flame, is not the hottest flame. It's one of the cleanest flame. Malinis siya. Hindi siya ganyan katindi ng init. Okay? Ang color of the hottest flame is white. Metal fire. Metal fire. Okay? So, it's white. Okay? White yan. So, remember, the management for metal fire is totally different. At the moment, usually, ang conventional way of controlling metal fire is through graphite. Meron siyang tinatawag na D-powder. Designed specifically for D-fire. Pero, merong bagong entity na lumalabas ngayon, development, is water-based, kaya siya pumatay ng D-fire. We will talk about some time later on. And then, may kunting diferensya ulit sa Class K, sa NFPA, and Class F sa ISO. Bakit ba? Ang NFPA, they will say, kitchen fire, ayaw bakit they just puntirya nila, kusina lang, kitchen. Actually, ang ISO, pinupuntirya is what we call heavy oil. Mga lard, sa mga commissary, malaking volume ng cooking oil o heavy oil at per se on that. Because ang cooking oil, heavy oil per se, may special characteristic when it burns. It burns at a very high temperature, close to almost 400 degrees. And then meron siyang characteristic na what we call auto-ignitions. Pag napatay mo na, madalas, kung hindi kayo na-control ng husto o completely control, the possibility of reignition is mataas talaga. Mataas siya. Okay? Just to let you know, meron tayong konting diferensya na, Bakit sa atin, we adhere to NFPA and we are still a signatory of ISO o IS. Okay? Isa pa, ang testing standard ng NFPA and testing standard ng ISO is totally different. Yung klase test nila, later on may video tayo, na burning creep fire, meron tayong pan fire, para makita mong anong diferensya. Ang NFPA, usually, ang creep niya, isang malaki. Ang ISO, medyo mahaba siya. Saka one thing, when it comes to burning burning oil or flammable liquid fire, the NFPA uses a square pan, while the ISO uses a round pan. And ako nga, nagtataka, just food for your thought din. Saan ka nakakita ng fuel storage tank na squala? Puro bilog, di ba? So, actually, I don't know kung ano nangyari kasi matagal na yung mga standard na yan. And we both adhere to both standard kung tutuusin. Okay? Then, susunod, since we know about the different classes, then meron tayong difference agent na more or less pwede i-control. Okay? Pero right now, before I go on, kung meron apoy, ano meron produkto? Di ba? Usually sinasabi natin, meron silang light and temperature, di ba? O kung gusto mo, medyo technical kunti, sinasabi namin may luminar. Okay? O may calories, o joules, or whatever. Kasi when you say light and temperature, o heat, walang number sometimes to put on. To put on. So, ang mangyayari is sasabihin natin, merong siyang isa pa byproducts what we call smoke. And how do you determine or define smoke? Smoke is actually an incomplete product of incomplete combustion. And smoke, dahil incomplete siya, merong siyang particles na carbon, which also fuel to the fire. Ito nakita mo kandila sa harapan ko. We'll just show you, it's a very, very simple demo or experiment. It's an experiment. Just to show you that smoke is really capable of burning. I will blow it off. You see what happened then? I'll do it again. Just observe, What happened? Without touching the wick, just the flame to the smoke, the wick ignite by itself. So this is going to prove that smoke is actually fuel to the fire. Kaya medyo delikado yung smoke. Aside from that, sa modern fire happening, o scenario per se, madaming tayo extra na toxic na fumes na very, very delikado sa firefighter who's going in. Okay? Sa mga synthetic material natin, ang dami-dami. Actually, in laboratory condition alone, they tested more than 400 different types of toxic fumes that would kill you instantly. Kaya, delikado sa firefighter yan. That's one. Kaya critical ang respiratory protection. And that's what will be happening with our next topic. Meron tayong sinasabi next topic natin is the myth and facts on PPEs. Kasi hindi lahat ng PPEs na binabasa natin, totoo. Hindi naman totoo. They are specific for certain usage. Dapat malaman natin ang limitation. Lahat may limitation. Okay? In fact, lahat ng condition may limitation. Lalo na sa fire structure. Walang sinasabi natin na merong fireproof na material. Impossible. Ang meron is fire resistive. Lahat ng material subject to full flame will break down on a certain time, certain temperature, and certain time. Okay? So, we go on. Nakita mo na yung kandila. So, we say, smoke is flammable. It's totoo. Okay? Smoke is flammable. Okay? So, depende sa density ng smoke. Siyempre, malalaman natin. And one of the subject later on will be how to read smoke. Para malaman ninyo, intensity ng smoke. Ano bang carrying capacity as a fuel. Okay, what you see on the screen right now are different types of portable extinguishers. Ang critical dito, hindi yung extinguishers mismo, no? What I want to imply is that not the physical extinguishers itself. It's the content, or what we call the suppressant. Okay? Yung laman. Okay? So, meron tayong genetically, all over the world, the same, no? Meron tayong tinatawag na tubig, water. Okay? And then, meron tayong CO2. Merong, nakita pa ninyo yung, yung diagram? Ito yung tayong water, CO2, ano pa? Dry chem, foam, wet chemical. But, puro may generic yan, Like water per se is what we call ordinary H2O, no? Water. Meron siyang certain ratings for certain fire. Usually, meron siyang rating for a class A fire. Usually, a 9-liter unit will carry automatically a 2A rating. Ano ba yung 2A rating? Later on, I will tell you about that thing. Kasi let's say, tayo immediate responder. Ano ba yung ratings na yan? That it carry weight to us? Yes or no? It could be yes and no. Depende. Kasi ang testing facilities medyo standard, medyo mahigpit. Ang usually responded natin sa apoy, ang initial stage is what we call a two-dimension fire. Ang test fire is usually a deep-seated fire, may creep siya. And then, ang dry powder or dry chemical, madaming klase din. Mayroon tinatawag natin ng, excuse me, tinatawag ng ABC, which is the multi-purpose dry chem. The main composition is monoammonium phosphate. That's generic. Nothing but what call substitute for monoammonium phosphate. Meron siyang characteristic na once subject to heat, tumutunaw siya, kinokot niya yung fuel. And then, ang main action, ang ginagawa ng dry chemical is actually to disrupt the chemical chain reaction. So we have the ABC and the BC dry chemical powder. Let me go back to water, no? Water kasi I forgot. Actually, it's very, very simplified. It's really rated for A. But later on, we'll talk about water kasi water is considered as one of the universal suppressing agent. I'll expound on that later on. Okay? Dry chemical, ABC, BC. Ang BC, madaming component. One common is what we call sodium bicarbonate, baking soda. Pag sinabi natin, bakit yung baking soda natin sa kusina hindi pwede gamitin sa extinguisher? Kasi may compound siya. May hinahalo na ibang chemical to make it repel moisture, to make it more fluid para kaya mo i-dispense sa loob ng isang extinguishers. Ang foam is usually what we call a water additive. Mukhang meron siyang bula, nakikreate siya ng membrane. Ang main action on fire is that it wants to create a membrane and eliminate O2 from the fuel. CO2 is carbon dioxide. CO2 is what we call a clean agent, a natural clean agent. Okay? Nagpapababa ng temperature, that's one, kasi CO2 is cool. Secondly, it's also dispel oxygen. Okay? Ang CO2 per se, it's non-toxic, but it's also non-life sustaining. Okay? Yung wet chemical kasi pumasok yung wet chemical not too long ago, it's because of the kitchen fire. And then ang generic term or chemical term is what we call potassium urea. Potassium acetate pala, sorry. Potassium acetate. Potassium urea is part of the BC chemical per se. It's potassium acetate. So right now, meron tayong bagong development sa fire extinguishers industry na merong water-based. It's not potassium acetate anymore. It's also a combination of so many composition na merong rating na sila A, B, F. Okay? Kasi yung weak chemicals only rated for K and A. Class A, B, and K. Okay? So, yan ang bagong setup. Okay, let me go back to the water extinguishers per se. Sinabi ko kanina, it's one of the classified as universal suppressing agent. Bakit universal? Practically all types of fire could be controlled by water alone. The thing is that medyo merong siyang iba-ibang papasukin, no? One thing is yung delivery systems. Yung nozzles ninyo, yung pump pressure ninyo, yung volume ninyo. All comes into play. And then pwede kayo maglagay ng additives. Merong sinasabi natin weighting agents. Ano weighting agents? Anything that would lower the surface tension ng tubig is what we call a weighting agent. Ang classic example ng weighting agent is what? Dishwashing solutions. Okay? I use the term dishwashing solutions. Alam mo bakit? Meron kasang basong tubig, alam mo ng konting dishwashing solution, kusip mo sa salamin, makikita mo ano mangyayari. Pag-flow down siya, mabilis. Kung wala dishwashing solution, pag-kusip mo, didikit siya as droplets. Kasi ang tubig kasi may surface tension. Makita mo mukhang mayroong siyang bubble, ano? Mayroong siyang cap sa tubig. Pansinin ninyo. Okay, pansinin ninyo. So, actually, a dishwashing solution could be used for a class A fire. In conjunction, pag hinalo mo sa tubig. Bakit ba? Binababa mo yung surface tension. So in firefighting kasi, critical is that merong tayo penetration. Nababasa siya, pumapasok. And I forget, I jump ahead. I was thinking na medyo easy topic kasi ito. Before a fire can start pala, meron silang certain process that would go on. It's what we call pyrolysis. Kasi ang fuel natin, merong 3 stages eh. Solid, liquid, and gas form. And the fire would never start on a solid fuel. It has to pass through a pyrolysis process. From solid, it turns to liquid, it turns to gas. The gas would be fumes, and then that's the material, the fumes that would ignite as a fire. Okay. Anyway, kung dating bombero ka, most probably, alam mo na kung ano sinasabi ko. I just want to reiterate kasi madaming natuturo. Like this one, nakita mo, talaga totally, makita mo total separation na. Nandiyan ang crudo, nandiyan yung tubig. So actually, pwede ko ihiwalay yan, pwede ko inuman yung tubig. Walang contamination whatsoever. Okay, just limit some kasi actually total separation siya. Yung pyrolysis is one chemical reaction. So some chemical or some suppressant is trying to break this pyrolysis thing, the chemical chain reaction. It could be done in so many ways actually. Ang tubig kasi, if you deliver the water in solid stream, in fat pattern, so may kanya-kanyang characteristic, ano? The cooling effect, the rich, so forth and so on. And if you transform water into steam, meron silang exponential property na 1 liter of water would create 1,700 liters of steam. So if you talk about physics on matters, no two matter occupy the same space at the same time. So biro mo, 1 litrong tubig, gagawin mo 1,700 liters ng steam. In this room alone, siguro 2-3 litrong tubig lang, control na yung apoy. Pero remember, steam is also dangerous. Bakit ba? It's more than 100 degrees. So kung nasa loob kayo, edi mukhang naka-steam ka. So sinasabi natin yan, these are very, very simple foundation na information o lesson dapat matuto ng isang fire safety advocate. Hindi lang yung sabi natin, mga firefighters natin. Okay? So remember, ang apoy, sometimes difficult to start, impossible to control. By the way, alam mo niyo kung ano pinakamahirap na patay na apoy? There's a lot of people who don't understand that thing. That's sabi industrial fire. May kanya-kanyang characteristic, may kanya-kanyang approach. Okay? Ang control ng fire, not necessarily ipapatay natin yung apoy. Sometimes you have to let it burn. The issue is that you control the burn, you control the damages. And then there's a lot of issues involved there, no? So, all the way, sasabihin natin, yung tuloy-tuloy, no? And then, usually, I like to do my lectures on the freestyle. Kasi, mahirap na to be sticking on certain item, ano? So, if there are any question that you want to ask, start posing it. I will try to answer them as much as possible. And then we will show you some video na makikita mo yung ginagawa ko. I don't usually respond to fire incidents locally, but I do a lot of what do you call that, fire suppression in control fire, in test fire per se. I usually do them in Taiwan or in Shanghai. Okay? We will ask them to flash some video for you to see. And then kung meron kayong the question gusto itanong, just post it in, then I will continue on what's being left out. Okay? These things are done in Taiwan. It's what we call the Taiwan Xiaofang Kikimhui. It's a foundation, okay, that actually do the testing. I'm actually the one who actually personally suppressed the fire. I don't know if you can show the entire video. This is what we call a two-way fire. This is actually an FPA. So, merong siyang pre-measured, even yung moisture content niya, lahat-lahat, pati yung stacking up, everything is measured and documented. And then merong siyang fuel tray underneath. Every time yan, every single time. Okay? So you have what we call a two-way fire right now. And they allow that to be fought with the 9-liter handheld extinguishers. Okay? So they have a fuel tray underneath. It's going to be pre-burned to close to around 6 minutes. Makikita mo yung height ng apoy later on sa actual. And these are all documented, no? Either you fail or you pass. It's always documented. Most of the time, yung tinitira ko, failure. Most of the time. And then we have to revise on the suppressant, yung component niya, formulation niya. And will also depend on the approach on fire suppression. So actually, you have a ignition. Ang taas ng apoy niya, no? Close to mga 40 feet siguro, most probably. And then deep-seated yan dahil it's a creep fire. So hindi lang two-dimension yan, it's multi-dimensional. You're given only a chance to put it off. So after a pre-burn, itatanggal yung fuel tray, ano? Papapansin mo. The temperature is close to 800 to 900 degrees, ano? On the top end, ano? Later on, I can show you my battle mark. I got myself burned once upon a time. This foundation was built at the cost of 6 billion NT dollar. Actually, anybody could avail of the service. Medyo mahaba ng pila, that's one. Secondly, they also have to pre-test your unit. You could not charge the unit yourself. You provide them with your unit, and then they would charge it, and they would measure it all the way. So this is pre-burning. It's a little bit fast track. Later on, makikita mo, papasok na ako. Kasi they would also have a countdown. So they have a countdown for you to get in. And then, by the way, kung napatay na yung apoy, dapat merong something like 80% pa natitira yung material. Hindi pwede sunok na sunok. Which rarely done dito locally, kasi maybe we don't have the facilities, that's one. Second, it's also very costly and expensive. And as you can see then, the building itself, meron silang smoke scrubbers, Kaya wala kang siyang kikita ng usok.
Hi, Chief Jones.
Yes?
Yeah, we have a question here. Pwede po bang water with shampoo, foam, ang gamitin sa kitchen fire kung sakaling wala po kayong extinguisher?
Hindi pwede. Kasi yung shampoo sa foam, pwede sabihin natin, wetting agent siya kasi napapalambot siya, tinatanggal yung langis. Pero kasi yung kitchen fire per se, ibang characteristic ng kitchen oil. Hindi kakayanin yung foam na sinasabi, homemade foam. Kasi actually, ang foam is medyo high-tech na konti siya. Madami siyang component. Meron siyang, most probably, meron silang common ingredients per se. Maybe meron siyang foam generator. But yung foam na shampoo natin is very, very, very weak foam. Hindi kaya na umabot ng apoy. Kasi yung shampoo, mabe-breakdown immediately. So, hindi pwede gamitin. The best pa kung tutusin sa kitchen fire per se, if you are following text fire sa mga home safety namin, sa fire home safety feature namin, simple lang, sa kawa, meron kang takip, takpan mo lang kung may apoy. You don't need actually extinguishers for that. Or you can use a wet down towel, squeeze the towel dry, and cover it. Okay? That's a better proposition. But just in case you have a rated fire extinguisher for the kitchen, you can use it likewise. Okay? But not all extinguishers is rated for kitchen fire or fat fire. So yung shampoo, bawal na bawal. Huwag mo gawin na sariling na DIY na firefighting foam. Okay? DIY siya. For cleaning purposes, why not? It could be done. Okay? Sa wood fire, possible. Kasi ang shampoo would lower the surface tension ng tubig. By the way, ang surface tension ng tubig, 73 dynes, Anything that would lower that below the 73 is what we call a wetting agent. Ang firefighting foam, babaksak hanggang 23 below. Okay, it's not an easy task to do. It's not an easy task to do. Any more questions?
Sir, we have another question. Sir, what about soft drinks like Coke?
Okay. Actually, they saw these things sa mga YouTube. Soft drinks and Coke are actually carbonated. So when you say carbonated, it's CO2. And what sinabi yung CO2 is a fire suppressing agent. Pero yung content ng CO2 per se, on a soda pop per se, it's not highly concentrated na. Pero meron siyang tubig content. So kung tutuusin, pwede mo buhusin sa Class A fire. Walang problema yan. Kasi may CO2 na, may cooling na tubig pa component. Pero huwag mo nyo gamitin sa gas fire or anything. Sa oil, lalo na wala. Kasi mas madaming yung liquid content niya kaysa yung CO2 content niya. Okay?
We have another question. Ano po pwede gamitin dyan? Meaning the fire earlier. AFFF or yung triple F?
Okay. Actually, the true term is AFFF. Aqueous Film Foaming Foam. Yung FFF, wala yan. Sometimes FFF is called that. They have another term for that, but it's not a firefighting foam. Ang AFFF, meron siyang subclass. Actually, I'm deviating from the very basic, Kasi ang foam per se, meron sinasabi natin, Class A foam, which is ang solution niya, could be from 0.1% to 1%. Then we have the Class B foam, that's going from 1% to 3%. Okay? And then we also have what we call up to the 6% one. And then we also have the foam for fighting what we call alcohol or polar solvent. So it could range from a 3 to 6 or 9%. So depende the class of fire kung anong foam dapat i-apply mo. Kasi misapplication of foam would not only control the fire, it would actually aggravate the conditions. Kaya critical yan when it comes to industrial setup. Hindi lahat ng foam is created equal, if you want to use the term. But if you have just water alone, pwede din i-control natin. Pero let me cite let's say, a trivia. If you remember December 14, 1973, there's a big fire actually of what we now call the power plant. Di ba? Power plant tawag natin. Okay. During that time, yung power plant na yan is a depot ng Meralco. Meron siyang storage ng bunker fuel. Nakaroon ng sunog yung storage tank natin. And during that time, our bureau or our firefighter na the government is not actually well trained and well versed on Class B fire. So ang ginawa nila, nagbomba siya ng tubig sa loob ng container. Sa loob ng flaming structure, container, which is a no-no. Kasi especially bunker fuel. Kasi like I show you, kasi babaw yung langis, nasa lalim yung tubig. Habang tumatagal yung apoy, meron tinatawag natin heat transfer. So yung init, pumapasok sa loob ng tubig. Okay? Until a certain time, kukulo yung tubig. Eh ano nangyayari sa tubig na yan? Dahil natakpan na ng langis, di ba? So, they have a term what they call boil over. Yan, tinatapon na yung langis, may kasama apoy na. That's what really happened sa Rockwell. Okay? Natamaan ng fire truck natin, may namatay yata 3 bombero dyan. Tapos meron tayong nasunugan pa mga residential. Actually, if you want to control that fire without any firefighting foam, the only thing you do with water is just to protect the integrity of the structure, the metal tank. Ibabasa mo na yung tanke para hindi siya mag-overheat. Or, pwede kayo mag-evacuate. Ibig sabihin, nasa sunog naman sa ibabaw lang eh. Yung sa loob na material, pwede pa evacuate. Pwede pa i-withdraw. Pero during that time, since still early pa ako sa fire protection, kung tutusin, 1973, what I know about that thing. So, that's what really happened. And after which, yung late General Tanchanko was sent to the US actually to be properly trained on handling a Class B fire. Okay? Handling a Class B fire. So, yung December 14 right now, ang bureau natin is recognizing as a Fire Recognition Day. Okay? So, meron tayong pinapakita ng video is merong failure, may comparison, merong additives, non-additives, so forth and so on. So, actually, there's a lot of undertaking when it comes to fire management control. Okay? And then, when we talk about that, madaming klaseng apoy din eh. Pwede natin sabihin, mayroon management na dapat hindi natin isusukpo yung apoy. Dapat to let it burn. Ano classic case on that? If it's dealing with hazardous material. O say, meron tayong gas pipe leak na hindi natin kaya ipatay ng source. So, nasusunog sa leak point. Huwag ninyo patayin niyang apoy na without controlling the supply. Bakit ba? Kasi pag pinatay mo yung apoy, ano mangyayari sa mga leak? Kasi kakalat na yan. And ang LPG, may peculiar yan eh, peculiar characteristic, which starts on a lower indentation ng ground. So, iipon-ipon dyan until such time na meron umabot na ignition, pang! Yan mangyayari. So, pwede, kung hindi natin kaya control yung source, huwag natin ipatay yung apoy. Let it burn kasi nasa spot lang naman eh. Just control exposure. And there's a lot of incident pa. I could actually tell you a lot, especially dealing with chemical, Especially dealing with chemical. Okay?
Chief, we have another question. During a ship fire where crude oil is burning in a ship compartment, is adding dishwashing liquid to water helpful in putting off the fire?
Actually, I mentioned about that thing. Yung dishwashing solution is no good. Actually, dishwashing solution is actually just a wetting agent. Pero it's a consumer. Hindi designed for firefighting, Usually sa sea fire, actually if you're dealing with engine compartment, meron silang fixed system. It's usually ginagamit ng total flooding system. And yung agent nila is usually CO2. Meron silang battery of CO2 tanks, manifold, and then isisirado yung engine compartment, i-release yung CO2. Ang CO2 is not toxic, pero it's not life-sustaining. Mamatay yung tao. You could not actually survive on CO2.
Okay. We will be going for a 2-minute break. Sir Chief, we will be showing some video as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Samahan namin ay pinalakas ng isang hangarin, puso at damdamin nagkaisa sa gintong layunin, tamang paraan ng pagsagip, iwas sunog ang nais, walang hinihinging kapalit, kahit buhay nasa panganib. Kaalaman at kahandaan sa kalamidad na nagbabadya, sunog, lindol, bagyo, baha, next fire volunteer, laging handa. Tulong sa nangangailangan, buong puso ang pagdahamay, next fire volunteer, kaibigan, makabagong bayani ng bayan. Kaalaman at kahandaan sa kalamidad na nagbabadya, sunog, lindol, bagyo, baha, next fire volunteer, laging handa. Next fire volunteer, laging
Okay? We're going to start a very small flame using yung hydrocarbon. I'm using a very small beaker kasi indoor tayo. Okay? So, just a small bit lang, ano? Para makita ninyo. Kasi sa tubig, didihap siya, no? Special pa kaya ninyo makita yung kulay. Let me cap this up. Later on, we'll be doing Class D fire indoor and medyo delikado. So I would advise not to try it at any one time, ano.
Hi. We don't advise you to follow this. This is just a demonstration.
So as you can see then, even without doing anything, it would burn itself out. This is short time. Dahil kukunti lang ng fuel niya. So even without doing anything at all, just burn itself out. Medyo matagal, no? Kung tutusin, kukunti lang yan. If you don't try to do anything, you just contend there. Huwag mo ibasa, baka mabasak yung salamin. May smoke detector ba yan? So far, wala. But it's about to go out na. Hindi. Hindi kaabutan ng temperature. Actually, gusto mo, i-blow mo lang, mamatay na yan, mukhang kandila na yan. Ihip mo lang. Pero just to show you, kung bigger scale, meron siyang kunti, kukunti siya, it will just burn itself out. Lalapit na yan, nakita mo, nagbabago na, and just about pack. Okay? Actually, in training, we don't have to go big scale, ano? The tabletop thing per se will show you more or less. This one, I did not use yung malaki dahil crudo siya, no? Ang crudo kasi, mahirap ang pasindihin. Mahirap pasindihin. This one's gasoline. I use a bit. Most probably, lang cc lang yan. Nakita mo. No management at all. Okay? Actually, medyo mainit yung tubig sa loob. Pero still, pwede mo hawakan, no? Walang problema. Actually, wala pang temperature. Wala pang temperature. Puro lang sa taas lang yun, no? Namatay ng sarili. Siyempre, may kunting usok yan. May amoy. Okay? So sinasabi ko, kung hindi mo kaya patayin, kung wala namang madadabay ng ibang structure, you can just let it burn out. Gasoline, actually. It's a high octane. Actually, it's 100%. Wala siyang ethanol. By the way, I want to point out yung mga fuel natin today, present and dati-dati, medyo hindi na pareho. Ang gasolina natin today is usually meron E10, di ba? May 10% ethanol. So ethanol is alcohol. So ang management ngayon, medyo minsan magsasablay. Sasablay siya. Bakit ba? Dahil meron siyang alcohol content. Even ang diesel natin, may biodiesel. So, ang fire control ng this fuel per se, it has to be revised somewhat. Hindi na pwede traditional yung ginagawa dati na itutuloy natin. Okay? I'm just doing a tabletop, simplified. Kasi if we want to do something na, na medyo elaborate, dapat outdoor tayo. Itong maliit na fumes lang actually may amoy na
Chief,
yes.
we have another question. Di po ba ang 3% and 6% is for cold region dahil anti-freezing po? For tropical region or country like in Philippines, is 1% that we're using?
You're grossly mistaken. Kasi may design property yan Pag sinabi ng form na 1%, it means na kailangan 1% solution to be, what do you call it, efficient. Pag sinabi 3%, kailangan mo 3%. Meron 3-6, ang ibig sabihin ng 3-6, multi-type yan. 3 is for hydrocarbon, 6 is for polar solvent. Okay? Meron strictly 3% polar solvent. Yung freezing point ng foam is not related to the foam concentrate. It's not related to the foam concentrate. Go specific. The supplier would actually give you full disclosure kung paano proper usage. And then sa atin, mahilig tayo sa mga firefighter. Most probably ito, firefighters, no? Mahilig tayo mag-dump They call that batch mixing. So the dump, ibig sabihin, may tangke fire truck. Okay? May 500 gallons. Ububos ko lang sa loob, batch mixing. Okay? Pag sinabi na 3%, ilang gallon kailangan mo sa 500 gallon? That's 15 gallon. 15 gallon, usually isang pail is 5 gallon. So at least, papasok mo 3 pail. Which bira ginagawa ng bombero natin dito, lalo na firefighter. Usually isang balde lang, okay na din yan. So, anong ibig sabihin yan? Kulang dosage. Just follow instructions. Nandiyan naman yan ang tao kasi, minsan, madaming silang perception. And then when using ang foam application kasi, madaming firefighter gumagamit what they call eductors. Eductors are a very simple equipment just to mix the firefighting foam.
Okay, we have another question here.
Yes.
Would the extinguishing effectivity of PFE will be affected by the location of fire? Like in the first video, it was done in an enclosure.
Which one?
The one with the pallet na malaking fire.
Actually, all test fires are done indoors because they have to control the wind. All test fires, except in Germany, the MPA, they test their Class B fire outdoor. Later, we can show you a test fire on MPA, which is based in Germany. All test fires are usually done indoor. But test fires because all the parameters are existing. So they give a certain ratings. They'll give you certain ratings.
There's another question. Will you be discussing what regular people can do in case of these fires in various classes?
Yes, we would. We would. Actually, that's one of the topic. That's one of our series we would put into on the household issues. Even our next topic will be on PPEs, which is personal protective equipment. The description term for the topic is the myth and facts on PPEs. And then we will also be touching on medical PPEs, ano? Naputol. Okay. May kunting technical issues. For the meantime, if you want to get the extinguishers, get a good one. Walk by mouth, get it from a reputable supplier. And there's a lot of issues sa bahay na pwede gawin natin for fire safety. In fact, I would advocate that you invest on a detection system. Mas priority yan kaysa sa suppression systems. Okay? Kasi usually, sabi natin, sa fire protection, we need extinguishers, a portable one. Okay? But ang mas matindi, saka mas prioritized dapat yung detection, like a smoke detector or heat detector, which is available right now sa over-the-counter, no? But make sure you get a good one. Kasi there's so many in the market. Ang hirap sabihin kung alin dependable, alin hindi dependable. Ang hirap sabihin talaga. And then they all have their claims. The best is that you buy one, you make sure na it's a good one, you can test it on your own, it works. And usually your self-contained detector per se runs on a 9-volt battery or they run on batteries. So ang lifetime niya is really dependent on the battery. Okay, this is a Class A fire done in Europe. This is a what we call the ISO way of doing a creep fire. Okay. Mas matagal burn time niya dito. Ang burn time niya I think is past 6 minutes. And then the unit they're using is smaller. In the US, usually they use a 9-liter. This one, they would use a 4 or 6-liter one. And they will give you ratings, ano? Ano? Okay. So, as you can see then, it's burning. Ibang klaseng apoy yan. It's what we call a multidimensional fire per se. Kasi, pansinin mo, lahat ng butas ng creep, ano, may apoy. Hindi lang surface. Tingnan mo, tagus-tagusan yan. And then once the operator comes in, this is done in Germany, you know, bawal kami magpatay dyan. Meron silang designated operator. Kasi gusto yung style nila. Pero meron sila isang watcher. Pansin mo, may isang babae na sa likod yan, no? Siya magtuturo kung saan pa mayroong apoy. So, pwede na balikan. And by the way, all these tests cost a lot of money, ano? You're paying in euros. Not only that, ano? Ang mahirap pa yung yung scheduling. Kasi hindi lang isang company na gusto magpa-test diyan. By the way, MPA is a independent testing agency based in Germany. They only test performance, nothing else. The chemical composition they don't test. It's just the performance. Kaya na pumatay. Tingnan mo, ang bilis niya, no? Segundo na actually. Inikutan na yan. Saka, inintay yan, kung mayroong reignition. Dapat, hindi kasama, pwede make reignition within 3 minutes. Kung may reignition, you fail the test. Actually, we fail on so many times actually. Kasi, through failure, that's only time alam mo kung saan na-adjust. Kung saan adjust. And then, pati yung nasusunod kahoy, hiningi namin. Kasi ina-analyze namin kung anong nangyari. And usually, with this kind of a suppressing agent, may kasama siyang what we call fire retardant. Yung kahoy na yan, mahirap na i-gamitin panggatong. Kasi mahirap na siya mag-reignite, magsunog. And then meron tayong mga Class B fire na medyo malaki, as big as what they call a 233, close to 200 liters of gasoline. Meron mga 55, sa dami. Actually, I've been through most of them all the way, for the past maybe 15 years. Medyo wala ako sa eksena, mga 7 years I was busy actually.
Pero pa-discuss naman yung iba't ibang klase ng fire extinguishers.
Okay. I did mention a while ago, yung fire extinguishers. Hindi ba, meron tayong sinasabi natin, pressurized water. Water, CO2, dry chemical, wet chemical, di ba? Foam. Meron silang classification na sa tiketa kung saan sila pwede. Okay? Kung saan pwede. This is generic, ano? This is generic. Ang importante, tingnan mo yung classification. Ang ABC, dry chemical, is a jack of all trades. Sinasabi natin, every class of fire, they could do it. They could do it, ano? But the thing is that, being a jack of all trades, hindi siyang kanyang ganda, ka-efficient. They can fight the class A, class B, class C fire. Ano ba class A? And by the way, they're based on NFPA, ano? So, class A is, solid combustible, B is flammable liquid, C is electrical. Bakit kaya na ng class A fire? In the sense na natutunaw siya. On our third session on agents, I will bring samples and I will do a tabletop demo for you to see kung anong reaction niya, no? And B is flammable liquids. What they do is that they would disrupt the chemical chain reaction. And C, because it's non-conductive, pwede siya gamitin sa kuryente. Pero being it's just disrupting the chemical chain reaction, wala silang cooling properties, ano? So, mabilis silang makrikinite. So, remember, madaming gumagamit ng dry chem on a flammable liquid fire. They are aware na mabilis siya makrikinite. Lalo na yung ibang gumagamit sa drill, pagsunog nila, sisindi, bumabalik yung apoy agad. But if you're using a foam, dahil water-based siya, so may cooling down effect, merong siyang blanketing effect, so nagse-separate yung fuel tsaka sa init, ano? So medyo nako-control siya. These are just basic. I don't want to touch on all the details on this one. Kasi madaming siyang, sabi natin, iba-ibang point, ano? Yung nagtatanong tungkol sa household, ang critical is meron kang fire prevention educations. Okay? Next in line is that you invest on the good detection systems. And the last, actually, is the portable extinguishers. As much as possible, hindi tayo abot ng hakbang kailangan natin gamitin yung fire extinguishers. And then, if you invest on good one, meron siguro, papakita namin yung video na maliliit na kaya. Okay? There are right now in the market the aerosol, which also carry a very high ratings, ano? A very high ratings. You'll be surprised. Madaming din nagbebenta sa market na sinasabi natin, they're not at par with what they claim to be. Ang hirap sabihin, ano? So, actually, it's you have to discern on what you're paying for. Not all cheap item are, they say, efficient item. And not all expensive item is also that efficient. So, there's a balancing act. Dapat alam mo yung supplier, alam mo yung performance ng certain unit. Okay? Ang household kasi, you go to the ratings, that's one. Secondly, you should know what you're buying. That's the bottom line. But I would really say that you invest more on a detection system rather than a fire suppression system. But of course, the best is kung meron kayo lahat. Lalo sa kotse natin. You know, merong mamahalang kotse, ayaw mag-invest sa isang extinguishers, ano? Milyon-milyon kotse, makano sa extinguishers lang. Kung tutusin, may mandato naman tayo, dapat meron eh. But it is that it's not being followed. And mahirap naman i-impose. Ako naman, being a safety advocate, I always educate people. Kasi hindi kaya namin mag-impose eh. We just give you face value. The final decision is yours. We give you accurate informations. Walang labis, walang kulang if possible. Minsan nalalaktaan lang kasi I'm not doing this kind of a lecture for the past 7-8 years na. Kasi what I do is more on corporate. I do freestyle. Lectures. Okay.
Okay. We have another question here from Philip Alcantara. What kind of fire extinguisher if the establishment has oil and rubber?
Okay. Oil and rubber, actually, it will depend also on the hazard. Okay. How heavy is your hazard? What's your oil part and what's your rubber part? Okay. But usually, sabi natin, the ideal agent is not necessarily good for both. Okay. O kasi, fast flammable liquids, di ba? Liquid hydrocarbon fuel. And alam natin anong pwede. You can use dry chemical, you can use foam, you can use CO2, but CO2 is very, very weak kasi even sa Class B fire, CO2 is best as a clean agent. When I say best as a clean agent, the best for electrical components, even for computers. And one thing, CO2 is what we call a natural gas. Wala siyang toxic, it's only non-life sustaining. Madaming clean agent natin in the market, they're toxic. They propose to be clean agent. Actually, they're toxic. You go to the MSDS. By the way, when I say MSDS, kung sanay kayo sa fire, alam niyo sa chemical. It's Material Data Safety Sheets, MSDS. Actually, every time may involve na chemical, pwede ka humingi sa supplier na MSDS. Obligatory magbigay sila. Merong isang part tungkol sa fire. Ano bang risk niya, anong hazard niya, anong pwede gamitin for control kung may sunog. Okay, this is a Class B fire. Actually, this is done in our Shanghai plant. It's just a small fire. It's what we call a 13B fire. We still call it small, pero yung iba medyo malaki na, kasi for household, this is quite big na, 13B is something like 8 liters of gasoline plus 5 liters of tubig, maging 13. So they call that a 13B. I'm familiar with this because we tested on hundreds of this kind of fire, from a small one to a big one. And the most expensive part is burning the fuel. Tingnan mo, magsusunog ng gasolina, 1 litro, makaling gasolina. Isang burn na yan, sabi mo natin, 8 liters, 50, makano. Diba?
We have another question. Effective ba yung binabato na parang extinguisher? Yung may apoy tapos
certain scenario, it would do the work. But I don't want to to say something about that thing. You can imagine. Ano ba ang mechanism niya for them to explode? So, ang ginagamit nila is pyrotechnics. So, may paputok sa loob yan. So, meron siyang fuse. So, upon igniting, ang chemical niya, kung tutusin, is dry chemical. So, it could be ideal for enclosed space. For a large exposed space, medyo, I wouldn't say anything on that. So, iba-ibang klaseng Class B flammable fire yung ginagawa namin. Actually, this is a daily affair in our Shanghai plant din. Meron kong sinasabi sa mga volunteer natin, kung one of these days, kung may oras lang, pwede ko daling kayo dyan. Kung nila kayo mapili lang. Kasi gawin kitang worker dyan. And this is done almost practically every day. Meron kayong certain team of people just to do the testing. And then every video we scrutinize and then malalaman namin kung anong problema yung agents o sa application, sa techniques, so forth and so on. Actually, the Shanghai plant is a 18 years plant in China. Ang mother company niya is a 60 years plant based in Taiwan. Based in Taiwan. So, may prescribed time burn yan, Tingnan mo. Usually, ang flammable liquid is 1 minute time burn before you can really do the application. And nakita mong video, hindi lahat na action is successful, Kasi we don't mind showing how we fail likewise. Because through failure, that's why we learn. Nakita mo, ito medyo maganda, Saklit lang. So, kinokontrol nila. So, they just use a CO2 to finish it off. But actually, it's what we call they're trying to see what happened then. Okay. So, this is actually, we classify this a non-successful trial, And then we have good ones, we have bigger ones, so forth and so on. Until meron kaming final na sabi natin, product per se. Okay. So we would try maybe you can try to give us a feedback what you want to have later on. Maybe we can come up with the modules that will be centered just for residential homes. We do have one modules that we call Fire in Your Homes. Okay, those are more based for the residences and for lay people. Actually, this one is a non-heavy organic training for personnel on fire operations. But this is more on the principle. We do a little tabletop just to show the difference. We would try to do if okay na yung time. Sige.
Okay. So guys, kung meron pa kayong questions, just send it to us now dito sa chat box natin, no. And papaalam ko lang rin, meron tayong registration, no. So mag-register po kayo, and at the end of the series, yung mga makakompleto po, gagawa tayo ng certificate na i-email namin sa lahat ng mga nag-register, no. So pwera po sa mga handouts na ipapadala namin sa inyo through your emails sa lahat na nag-register is makakatanggap din kayo ng e-certificate coming from TextFire Philippines. So, huwag niyo pong kalimutan mag-register. And yun nga, kung may questions pa kayo, feel free to ask them in the chat box now.
Okay?
Alright? May questions pa tayo?
Okay.
Okay. Sige. So, Uncle Jones, let's wrap up. Ano pa bang mga pwede nating mapaalala sa mga tao regarding yung ating components tsaka yung ating classes of fires?
Yung components actually hindi nagbabago yan. It's the basic foundation sa sabi description for a fire and how it would happen, how to control it, so forth and so on. It's a matter of madaming siyang revisions, lalong modern days. Dati-dati ang firefighting foam is very simplified eh. May pang ginagamit ng mechanical, may ginagamit ng dugo. Right now, because of the environmental issue, mayroong issue na ang firefighting foam right now is supposed to be non-fluorine. And there's only a handful in the world that can do it. So medyo tumataas ang presyo. Minsan beyond the reach of the non-institutions. But still then, since if you're using a very, very small solution, sometimes as low as 1%, so even though how high the cost is still acceptable. Before we end up, I would do a indoor Class D fire per se.
Oy, may pahabol pa si Uncle Jones.
So Class D is usually what we call a metal fire, no? I'm using what we call a magnesium chips, ano? So, you know, magnesium chips are very flammable. Let me light this thing up. Meron kami technical issue dito. Ayos sumindi siya. Sira yung igniter niya. May burn. But, since I'm doing indoor, may protection tayo. So, gagawa ko, I'm wetting this. So, actually, this is non-toxic. I'm placing some magnesium chip here. Not much, kasi try to observe, ano? Ang D-fire sinabi ko is a hot flame na medyo puti, ano?
Yan. Oo, talagang kakaiba yung ilaw niya. Sir Jones, Chief, anong mangyayari pagka nilagyan mo ng tubig yung Class D fire?
Dahil matindi ang init niya, pag ginamit ng tubig, it's going to create a very, very violent reactions. In fact, sometimes mahirap i-control. After this one, ano, I will just wet it down a little bit. Actually, this is what we call a complete burn na eh. Wala na masyadong abo na titira. Hindi, pati init, wala. Sat fast, ano. And then, ilalagay ko sa ano, wala siyang actually init sa tuwalya. Si Jeric siguro, naka-experience na ito. So, I would ask him to touch. Siguro, once we have a face-to-face training, I will do it for you para you can experience yourself na talaga protected ako.
Yes. Out niya itong camera. Tapos, ang ano pa dyan, Uncle Jones, di ba? Pagka halimbawa, yan nalagyan ng tubig, puputok-putok siya very violently at minsan, yun pa yung pwede mag-start ng mas malaking sunog.
Siyempre.
Yes.
Kasi,
So, dito talaga importante yung maintindihan natin kung ano yung classes ng fires ang meron tayo at saka kung ano yung mga dapat gamitin natin na mga fire extinguishers or fire suppressants na pwedeng gamitin sa bawat isang klase ng fire. Di ba?
okay.
Okay.
So, we would end the series at the moment. And then,
Ayan. Papasalamatan ko lang rin muna syempre lahat ng
Ibon.
lahat ng mga ating viewers ngayon, no? Umabot tayo ng almost I think 300 plus kanina. Thank you very much sa inyo. This is the first time that Textfire is doing this, and this is the first of many, no? So this year, since last year nga, ang dami nating mga gustong gawing projects na hindi natin magawa dahil sa pandemic. So this year, we would like to continue to educate you guys. Mapa-technical fire volunteers, magkakaroon tayo ng mga iba't ibang seminars. Magkakaroon din tayo ng mga seminars for mga fire safety and iba't ibang safety pa for the homes. And of course, gusto ko rin pala pasalamatan, no, yung dalawang nandito sa likod behind the cameras, no? Si Aya Jerry Midel tsaka si Aya Christopher si Direk, na kung hindi dahil sa kanila, wala tong live stream natin ngayon. No? Kanina pa kami nag-start dito, no? And of course, pasasalamatan namin yung aming big boss, no? Yung father ko, no? Patriot Alpha. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to teach din yung ating mga tao. So with that, I think meron pa ba akong nakalimutan, Direk?
Ako naman, I will do a cap, ano. This should not stop your learning, ano. I might not be covering everything at the moment. Kasi sa dami ng dapat i-cover in short span of time. And then ang attentiveness ng tao, iba-iba eh. So anyway, we will try to make something out of next series is what we call the myth and facts of the PPEs. Okay?
So, wag po kayong magsasawa and we'll see you next Wednesday. Same time, same place. Dito pa rin po kami. Diyan pa rin po kayo. Pwede rin kayo nasa ibang lugar. Okay lang sa amin yon. Basta po magkita-kita tayo ulit dito sa Facebook page ng Textfire Philippines. At ito po ay magiging available po online. Hindi po namin tatanggalin ito. So we hope that you share this. Dahil ito pong information na to, hindi lang po ito para sa inyo, kundi po para sa lahat ng tao. Dahil mas maraming taong makakakita na to, mas maraming matutulungan, at mas konti po ang magiging sunog natin. So, at wag po natin kalimutan, make every day a fire prevention day. Maraming salamat po. Yaon.
So ako isa po to.